ॐ नारायणं पद्मभुवं वसिष्ठं शक्तिं च तत्पुत्रपराशरं च व्यासं शुकं गौडपदं महान्तं गोविन्दयोगीन्द्रमथास्य शिष्यं श्रीशङ्कराचार्यमथास्य पद्मपादं च हस्तमलकं च शिष्यं तन्तोटकं वार्तिककारमन्यान् अस्मद्गुरून् सन्ततमानतोऽस्मि। भगवद्गीता अध्याय 2 श्लोक 59। विषया विनिवर्तन्ते निराहारस्य देहिनः रसवर्जं रसोऽप्यस्य परं दृष्ट्वा निवर्तते। In the previous shloka, Bhagavan described Sthitaprajna as one who has mastery over his senses, one who can restrain his senses at will. He has a say over his senses. He is not under the control of his senses. Instead, he has control over his senses. Such a person is Sthitaprajna. Then one might ask, even without being Sthitaprajna, one can restrain one's senses. Someone who has a disease, he is suffering from high fever. Even then his senses are fully restrained. Aturaha. Aturaha means one who is afflicted by a disease. A rugnaha, a rogi. Even his senses are under full restraint. Senses are not troubling him. Also, when you are fasting, fast for 1 full day, 2 days, senses are restrained. They are not troubling. Or someone goes to a secluded place and he closes his eyes. He is not exposing himself to any sense object. Even then, his senses are under control. They are not disturbing him. Then what difference it makes whether he is a Sthitaprajna or not? Even without jnana, many people can have mastery over their senses. Then how a Sthitaprajna is different? How Sthitaprajna is special? Then Krishna says, without getting jnana, without establishing oneself in jnana, even if one attains restraint over the senses, it does not mean that he is free from desires. The desires still remain. At that point of time, the desire may not be felt. But it does not mean that the desire is totally gone. When someone is in high fever, he does not have desire to eat. But that does not mean later on he will not have desire to eat. Likewise, a person who does severe austerities, going to a seclusion, without jnana, he seemed to have restrained his senses. Yet he has the desires intact. Therefore, when he comes out of his tapas, once again all the desires get activated. The desires which were hiding in subtle form when he was doing tapas, all of them get activated, all of them manifest, and once again his mind and senses are back to turbulence, back to samsara. This is what happens with an ajnani. But when he is a jnani, the very root of desires go away. Free from desires, whether he is doing severe tapas, whether he is doing severe austerities, or whether he is not doing any severe austerities, he is free from desires. And since he is free from desires, the senses will not disturb him. Therefore, for a jnani, mastery over senses have become effortless, because the very root of desires that cause turbulence in the senses as well as turbulence in the mind are destroyed. Whereas for an ajnani, with the effort, with the severe austerities, with the severe disciplines, he can gain mastery over his senses for a while up to certain extent. But in the meantime, as long as the desires are not destroyed, as long as the root of desires are kept intact, all the disciplines that he has employed to restrain himself, they are in vain. Because once again, the turbulence will start. Therefore, Krishna says, Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehinaha rasavarjam. Niraharasya dehinaha. A dehi, an individual who is niraharaha. Nirahara means one who is not perceiving any sense objects. With the effort, he has withdrawn his senses from the sense objects. And he is doing tapas. He has gone to a secluded place, kept himself away from the society, kept himself away from smartphone. He is in seclusion. He leads a simple life of austerities. That person is a nirahara. Not that he is fasting. That is not the idea. Nirahara means he is not perceiving sense objects. He has withdrawn himself from enjoying sense objects with effort. Niraharasya dehinaha vishayaha. Bhashyakara takes vishaya to mean indriyani, the senses. Vinivartante, they turn away. At least for a while, they get withdrawn successfully. Vishaya vinivartante. The indriyas are withdrawn, restrained. But rasavarjam, the rasa is not gone. Rasavarjam, rasa means desire. Rasavarjam means without giving up desire. Rasavarjam vinivartante. Without giving up desires, the senses are withdrawn. Then when will the rasa go? When will the desires go away? The desires will go away only when he gets a jnana. Rasopyasya param drashtva nivartate. Asya rasaha api. Asya dehinaha rasaha api. Ragaha. Rasaha means ragaha, desire. Also, param drashtva nivartate. It goes away when he gets the knowledge of para, when he gets the knowledge of Brahman, when he gets the knowledge of Atma. Therefore, when we try to restrain the senses by various forms of spiritual discipline, it is a temporary restraint. It cannot be absolute restraint. It is okay to begin with. In the beginning, one should try to restrain the senses with one's disciplining, with various forms of spiritual discipline. One should restrain the senses. It will help in acquiring the knowledge. But in the meantime, one should know that until one gets knowledge, the desires are not totally gone, because there is still room for desire. As long as we attribute reality to the world, as long as we have a sense of incompleteness, the desires will not go. For a while it seems as though the desires are gone. But the desires have not gone, because there is the root of desire intact. Still the world seems to be real. If there is reality in the world, if not today, in another day, I will see that the world is promising. I will see some promise in the world. Therefore, as long as there is ajnana, one cannot be totally free from the possibility of desires. And as long as one is not totally free from the possibility of desires, one cannot say that the mastery of senses or the mastery over the mind is complete. Therefore, in spite of disciplining the senses, in spite of disciplining the mind through various austerities, through various sadhanas, ultimately one should make effort to get jnana nishtha. Without getting jnana nishtha, all other sadhanas, all other efforts that you put in the direction of disciplining the mind and senses are useless. All other forms of spiritual discipline are meaningful only when it culminates in jnana nishtha. See the bhashya. We will see the sambandha. Tatra vishayan anaharataha aturasya api indriyani nivartante kurmangani iva samhriyante natu tadvishayah रागः सकथं संह्रियते इति उच्यते. Tatra means vyavahara bhumau. In the vyavahara, vishayan anaharataha, one who does not perceive the sense objects, that kind of a person. And why he is not perceiving the sense objects? There can be various reasons. One reason may be aturasya api. He is suffering from some disease. Therefore, he is not experiencing the vishayas. He does not have any energy in the body to enjoy the sense objects. Even to enjoy the sense objects, one should have some energy in the body. When the body becomes weak, one cannot enjoy. The senses lose their taste. The senses lose their ability to enjoy. Therefore, aturasya, it may be one reason. Or he is doing spiritual, severe austerities, some type of sadhana. He has gone away from the society and he is doing severe tapas. Even that is possible. Then also Vishayan anaharataha. He is not exposed to the Vishayas. Even then, Indriyannivartante, the Indriyas get withdrawn. Indriyas are restrained. They are successfully restrained. Kurmangani iva samhriyante. Nivartante means samhriyante. They are restrained like a kurmangani iva, just like the limbs of a tortoise. Natu tadvishayo ragaha. But what is not restrained, what is not destroyed, tadvishayo ragaha. The raga, the desire to enjoy the sense objects, it is not gone. Saha katham samhriyate iti. How to destroy the raga, how to resolve the raga, the desire for any sense object, the desire for relation, desire for wealth, desire for various forms of enjoyment. For a while it seems as though it is gone. That is why someone is practicing mauna. He or she puts a board. I am in mauna board. Mauna board. What happens for that day? He looks very silent. For that day, for 1 day or 1 week, this person seems to be a real mauni. But then after 1 week, when the person removes the mauna board, this person starts chattering incessantly, starts calling everyone. This is visible in some ashramas. For a while, the person has restrained with effort the Vagindriya. But it does not mean that the desire to interact with others is gone. The desire to interact with others is a form of desire to relate to others. Born of one's incompleteness. Only when I interact with others, I get some validation from others. That is not gone. It is still there. That is why after the 7th day of Mauna, the 8th day, the person is talking with everyone. All the 7 days talk is done on 8th day. So, natu tadvishayo ragaha. The raga is not gone. Sakatham nivartat, sakatham samhriyate. How to resolve the raga? How to resolve the desire? Iti. This is a question. Then uchyate, the following shloka, shloka 59 answers this question. Yadyapi Vishayopalakshitani Vishaya Shabdavacyani Indriyani Athava Vishayaha eva Niraharasya Anahriyamana Vishayasya Kashte Tapasi Sthitasya. Is there another reading? No. Kashte Tapasi Sthitasya. Murkhasyapi Vinivartante Dehinaha Dehavataha Rasavarjam Rasaha Ragaha Vishayeshu Yaha Tam Varjayitva Rasashabdaha Rage Prasiddhaha Swarasena Pravrittaha Rasikaha Rasajnaha Ityadi Darshanat Sopi Rasaha Ranjana Rupaha Sukshmaha Asya Yatehe Param Paramartha Tattvam Brahma Drishtva Upalabhya Ahamiva Taditi Vartamanasya Nivartate Nirbijam Vishaya Vijnanam Sampadyate Ityarthaha Na asati samyak darshane Rasasya uchchedaha Tasmat Samyak darshanatmikayaha Prajnayaha Sthiryam kartavyam Ityabhiprayaha. Yadyapi, even though, Yadyapi will always have a Tathapi. So we have to, when we see a Yadyapi, we should keep in mind that there will be a Tathapi coming. Yadyapi, even if Vishayopalakshitani Vishayaha iti. Vishayaha means Vishayopalakshitani Indriyani. In this context, Vishaya stands for Indriya. Vishaya Upalakshitani Indriyani. The Indriyas which are implied by Vishaya. Jahallakshana. Vishaya stands for Indriya, which perceives the Vishaya. So we have to take Indriya by Jahallakshana. See, Jahallakshana, Ajahallakshana is not only in Mahavakya, Everywhere you see the application of these. Vishayopalakshitani indriyani, Vishaya Shabdavachyani. They are Vishaya Shabdavachyani. They are the meaning of the word Vishaya here. Or Va, Athava, or else by the word Vishaya you can take Vishayaha eva. You don't take Lakshyartha, you take Vachyartha itself. Vishayaha. One interpretation is you take Indriyani as Lakshyartha, Jahal Lakshana, or you take Vishayaha eva, Vachyartha itself. Both are okay. Vinivartante. Vinivartante. They get restrained. They get resolved. They don't bother him, at least for the while, by creating desires, by creating turbulence. Niraharasya. For who? Niraharasya. Niraharasya is equal to anahriyamana vishayasya. One who is not perceiving any sense object. He has withdrawn himself from all sense objects. And how he has withdrawn? Kashte tapasi sthitasya. One who is performing kashta tapas, very difficult austerity. He is engaged in severe spiritual disciplines where he eschews all sense enjoyments. He abstains from all sense enjoyments. But he is not a jnani. Murkhasyapi. He may be a murkha. He does not have any viveka. Even then, for a while, his senses are restrained. Vinivartante dehinaha is equal to dehavataha. Niraharasya dehinaha. Dehi means dehavan, an individual who has a body. But rasavarjam, without rasa, when the indriyas are restrained, the rasa remains as it is. They do not get resolved with the rasa, with the desire. And we should understand that at that moment the desire is not bothering him. When he is doing severe austerities, for a while the desires are not bothering him. The desires are present in subtle form, in its seed form, karana form. A few days back we discussed the desire has 3 stages. One is sthula, gross. Another is sukshma. You know that there is a desire. And the third one is ati sukshma, which is bijavastha. So when he has restrained his senses, through severe austerities. The desires may be there in the Atisukshma Avastha. Even he doesn't know that he has desire. At that time, the Indriyas are perfectly restrained. And when you look at him, you feel that he has fully restrained his senses. But the subtle desires are there. The possibility of the desires are still there in subtle form. And they manifest in due course of time. Rasaha ragaha vishayeshu. Rasaha means vishayeshu ragaha. Desire for sense objects. It is called rasaha. Yaha. Vishayeshu yaha ragaha saha rasaha. Tam varjayitva. Leaving the rasa behind. Leaving the raga behind, the senses get restrained. Rasa shabdo rage prasiddhaha. No, Bhashyakara says how rasa can be understood as raga, how the word rasa can be understood as desire. Because generally when we say rasa, it has other meanings. Rasam, the juice or essence is called rasa. It is one meaning. Another meaning is taste, shad rasa. Taste, it is another meaning of rasa. And raso vaisaha. Rasa has the meaning of ananda. The word rasa is generally used in other meanings. Then how can you understand the word rasa as desire, ragaha? Then Bhashyakara says, even in the sense of raga, even in the sense of desire, the word rasa is prasiddha. We have popular usages even in that sense. Rasa shabdo rage prasiddhaha. The word rasa is well known, is used rage in the sense of raga also, in addition to other meanings. And where the word rasa is used in the sense of raga, in what kind of popular usages, in what kind of popular expressions the word rasa is used in the sense of raga in the language, Bhashyakara gives 3 instances. Swarasena pravrittaha, rasikaha, rasajnaha, ityadi darshanat. He gives 3 instances. In Sanskrit literature or in Sanskrit usage, where the word rasa is used in the sense of raga. One is Swarasena pravrittaha. Swarasena pravrittaha. A person who works with his own rasa. Swarasena means swechaya pravrittaha ityartha. He does certain things with his own desire, voluntarily, not because someone has forced. Swarasena pravrittaha. this expression is there. So this is one instance where rasa shabda is used in the sense of ichha, desire, ragaha. Another is rasikaha. Rasikaha. Rasika means one who has rasa. Svechhavashavarti, one who follows his desire always. He is called rasikaha. Even in the local usages, anybody who is interested in something, we call him a rasika. Someone interested in poetry is called rasika. And one who is not interested in poetry, he is called arasikaha. There was a poet and he wrote some beautiful poetry and he tried to express his poetry in front of some people. But unfortunately, they are arasikaha. They don't understand the beauty of his poetry. It was like sometimes when I have to speak on Vedanta and the people are not interested. That is what happens. This person started telling his poem with all poetic expressions, all poetic beauty. But the people in front of him started yawning. Then this poet writes, Arasikeshu kavitva nivedanam shirasi malika, malika, malika. Arasikeshu kavitva nivedanam. Expressing my poetry, presenting my poetry in front of arasikas. Please don't write it on my head. He is praying. So rasikaha means one who has a desire for something and he follows his desire. And rasajnaha. Rasajnaha means one who knows the desire. Rasikaha means Svecha Rasavarti. Svecha Vashavarti is Rasikaha. He follows his desires. He is under the control of his desire. Such a person is called Rasika. And Rasajnaha means Vivakshita Pekshita. One who knows what is desired. He is called Rasajna. Ityadi darshanat. Such expressions are seen in Sanskrit language. And in these expressions, the word rasa is used in the sense of desire, ragaha. Therefore, rasavarjam should be understood as leaving the raga, with the exception of the raga. The raga is kept intact. It is not gone. Despite all austerities. The austerities are not capable of destroying the root of desires. There is only one thing which can destroy the very root of desires, it is jnana. And without destroying the desire, one cannot get moksha. One description of moksha is freedom from desire. Prajahati yada kaman. And it is not possible without destroying ajnana. Therefore, when will the desire go? When will the very root of the desire, even in its atisukshma form, when will it go? Sopi rasaha, even that rasaha, ranjana rupaha. Rasaha is ranjana rupaha. It is in the form of ranjanam, interest. Interest in sense objects. And it is sukshma. For this person, it is in very sukshma form. Because even he is not aware that he has the desires. It is in a very subtle form. If you look at him, it appears as though he has no desire at all, because he has disciplined all his senses with various forms of austerities. It is like a dry land. In summer, because of the scorching sun, entire land becomes dry. You don't see even a blade of grass. Then you think this is absolutely barren. But then, after the summer, the first showers of rain come. The first showers of rain fall, the very following day you see a few blades of grass. Where has it come from? The root of the grass was there. Likewise, despite doing various forms of austerities, the roots of the desire remain intact. Sopi rasaha ranjana rupaha sukshmaha. It is sukshma and mostly ati sukshma. Even he is not aware of it. Asya yatehe, of this yati, one who is making effort for moksha, a mumukshu. Param drishtva. What is param? Paramartha tattvam brahma. Brahman, which is paramartha tattva. Drishtva. Drishtva means upalabhya. Drishtva upalabhya. Having understood, having discovered. How? Ahameva taditi. One who understands, I am the Brahman. Iti vartamanasya. And one who abides in the knowledge. Ahameva Brahma iti. Nivartate. The desires go away from him. Even the subtle forms of desires go away from him. Because even the root of desire, ajnana, is gone. Therefore, when the very root of desire is gone, there is no reason for seeking sense enjoyment. The very reason to seek sense enjoyment is gone. The very driving force that seeks sense enjoyment is gone. And when the very driving force of sense enjoyment is gone, the senses can no longer disturb him. Therefore, Indriya Nigraha has become natural to a jnani. Unlike for an ajnani who restrains the senses with the effort. Nirbijam Vishaya Vijnanam Sampadyate Ityarthaha. Vishaya Vijnanam, the sense enjoyment, becomes a nirbija, free from any bija, free from any cause. There is no cause that drives him for sense enjoyment. Sampadyate, Vishaya Vijnanam Nirbijam Sampadyate. The Vishaya Vijnana, sense experience, sense enjoyment, is free from all its cause. There is nothing to impel him for sense enjoyment. न असति सम्यक दर्शने रसस्य उच्छेदः. Samyak darshane asati. If Samyak darshana is not there, Samyak darshana means Atmajnana. Samichaha Atmanaha Darshanam Samyak darshanam. The knowledge of Atma is called Samyak darshanam. Samyak darshane asati. Without Samyak darshanam, rasasya uchchedaha na. Rasa cannot be destroyed. The raga remains. If not in its gross form, it remains in its subtle form. Tasmat, therefore, Samyak darshanatmikayaha prajnayaha sthiryam kartavyam ityabhiprayaha. Therefore, Samyak darshanatmikayaha prajnayaha, the prajna, the knowledge, which is in the form of Samyak darshanam, which is in the form of knowledge of Brahman, sthiryam kartavyam, one should accomplish its sthirya, the steadiness of Atmajnana, assimilation of Atmajnana, kartavyam, one should accomplish, ityabhiprayaha. This is the purport, this is the intention of Krishna. Don't think just performing some austerities will make you free from desires. Don't think performing certain austerities alone will make you a mukta, by making you free from desires. The austerities and other forms of spiritual disciplines are necessary to prepare one for jnana. But ultimately, what removes the desire from its very root, it is nothing but Atmajnana. Therefore, one has to work for assimilation of Atmajnana. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. हरिः ओम्।